Alrighty, there we go. We're live. We're live everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere. Okay, not everywhere, but like most places. All the places that I go live on. In the gym, let's go. Getting them gains. What's everybody else up to today? Happy Monday, by the way. Finks, are you still in here? We're building this. This is for one of our new partnered creators, QT Finks. She recently joined us as a creator, so you can use her code to get 5% off. Code Finks, PHINXX. Yeah, so we got a pretty cool build today. It's a very nice system. I clearly did not set everything up the way I normally do. So let's do that real quick. Here's what we got. Similar to our last build, we've got an Core Ultra 7 265K. I don't know if I'll ever get out of like the mindset of calling them i7s. I'm sorry. Core Ultra 7 265K with 20 cores. Got 64 gigs of Patriot Viper RAM, 4 terabytes of storage. We got an RTX 5070. Got the Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi, same one we used in the last build. 850 watt power supply. And a Thermalright Aqua V6, which I think is the newest in their Aqua lineup from Thermalright. Honestly, they're all good, but you know, when I can try and use the newest one because it's the newest, it's the best. And Thermalright just makes such good stuff, you know? All right, so that's what we've got in the build today. What up, Bumble? Hold on, let me just let Finks know that I'm live. So I know she wants to watch her PC get built. It's going good, Bumble. How are you? If you were to build the perfect streaming PC, what would be the components? So it definitely depends on your budget. If you want to keep to like a nice tight budget, right now, I would probably go, it's going to sound crazy, with like an Intel i5 14600K or like a non-K version of that. So you get tons of cores. It's not super expensive. Get yourself 32 gigs of DDR5. Get like a 1 terabyte main drive and maybe like a 2 to 4 terabyte secondary. I would probably throw like an RTX 5060 in there for the encoding. And then either the Elgato 4K or the AverMedia HDMI 2.1, which is a 4K capture card. And then just throw like a nice big air cooler or a nice little AIO in there. And like that's perfect for streaming. I stream on, today I have a 12700K, 64 gigs of RAM, which is totally overkill, and a 3070 still. And it does literally everything I could possibly want. Like I stream to every platform I want to. I have literally zero problems with it. I've been using it for a long time, and it just works, you know. Hold on, we need to ban somebody in the Kick chat already. Goodbye. Usually the auto mod catches those. I don't know why it didn't this time. Your live is redirecting users to purchase outside of TikTok. I'm not. TikTok. I'm not trying to send anyone outside of TikTok to buy things. I don't know where you get this idea from that that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, yes, I would love for people to buy my PCs, but I have not tried to get anyone to leave TikTok. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on there. Yo, what up, somebody? Do I have any floppy disks? I personally do not own any floppy disks, either the little 3-inch ones or whatever size they are, nor like the OG floppies. I am building up some art, like some wall art, using a PC my dad gave me from like 25 years ago, and it's got an old, it's got a hard drive that's like 10 gigs. It's got a couple of floppy drives, like the drives themselves. But it's been a long time since I've used a floppy disk. Dr. Beamer, what's up, you guys? Really thought you were gonna say 5070 in my system or in a streaming PC. Because you don't need much. You really don't. I built a stream PC for a buddy of mine. We like raised money and gave it to him. It has like a 12400F, a GTX 1650 with the GDDR6 RAM, VRAM, and then like 32 gigs of RAM with like a nice, or I don't even think we included a capture card because he had one. And he streams like super high bit rate, records at super high bit rate, multi-streams all of this shebang, and has no problems. You really, really, really don't need much when it comes to a stream PC. However, if you do also want to use that stream PC to edit things, you might consider going with something slightly higher end. There are some really good softwares out there like CapCut and stuff that don't require a ton of system power, but if you're using things like Adobe and doing really fancy, you know, 1440p 4K type editing, you probably want something more powerful. But you could always use, like, if your gaming PC is super strong, you could just take those files and move them over to your gaming PC and then edit them there, so you don't have to have a super expensive stream PC. What up, Richard? If that still works, the OG you have, then you are a perfect user and product will be sold quickly. It's not in working condition. We tore it all apart. That's what I actually, if you've seen it, I did a long form video on YouTube of a sleeper PC, and that case was the case that 25-year-old PC came in. So I took everything out of that, and that's what we're using to make wall art, because it wasn't in working condition anymore, unfortunately. It had been sitting for 15 years at least, since the last time it was used. So unfortunately, it's not still in working condition, but we're getting some good stuff out of it, you know. Johan, that's a wild comm, bro. What up, Finks? I'm glad you're in here. I was kind of delaying until you could get here, I'm not gonna lie. Actual floppy disk, I know, right? I played Oregon Trail as a kid, and I'm pretty sure it was on an actual floppy. You have an i7 8700K and a GTX 1070. It is definitely time to upgrade. You're not wrong. Honestly, AU coin, it totally depends on your budget, man. There's so many options out there, and no matter what, you're gonna have to, at this point, I would say you basically just need a new PC. Excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Can't stay for the whole vid, but I'll watch it later. All right, Lee, appreciate you coming in. Okay, so we talked through the build real quick. Core Ultra 7 265K, 5070, water cooling, lots of storage, lots of RAM. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. No more delaying, no more chit-chatting. I mean, we'll talk the whole time, obviously. Obviously, we're gonna be chatting the entire time I'm building, but we can talk and build, you know? We can do it at the same time. I have no comment on that, Nobers. QT Binks here. Wait, is that not, did I just like, did my brain just like put that in there and that's not actually your thing at all? Why does my brain do that to me? Hold on, I'm gonna update that in this stream because I don't know why my brain just like changed your name. Clearly the cold is not totally gone yet. There. Clearly the cold is still messing with my brain. It's not my fault, chat. I have a virus. It's not my fault, okay? Can you stop looking better each day? Oh, thank you. I don't know. I'm getting some new gray hairs. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative on the looks, but there's no stopping it at this point. Intel CPU, honestly, Intel CPUs are not bad, you guys. And for this sort of use case where you're gaming and streaming and you don't want to spend a ton of money, Intel is a good option. You have 20 cores, which means all of the like animations and any background stuff that you want to run on your stream, having all those extra cores is really nice. they might not be as good as AMD when it comes to like strictly gaming, but for like a gaming and streaming PC, it's really, really nice. And don't get me wrong, I'm an AMD fanboy through and through. But sometimes we gotta build Intel PCs. All right, and you guys are gonna like it. Wife says it's an upgrade. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm not upset about it. There's only a handful. Like I've got a couple in my beard and I've got a couple in my hair, but I'm not upset. Salt and pepper looks not bad. I know, right? They're coming in. Like for a while, it was like one would just like randomly show up, and then that would be the only one for like, 3-6 months. But I feel like it's every like month or two right now that I'm finding a new one. So we could be going pretty salt and pepper here in the next couple years. You have lots of white hair, you're good. My wife does too. She like runs in her family. They go gray pretty quick. That's okay. She looks great, and she started coloring her hair now. So who cares? Is it though? What do you think of the Intel Arc GPU series? I think they're great for what they are. They're very budget friendly. The Intel Arc GPUs are like the only cheap option if you want to get a new generation GPU. And if you have newer generation like the rest of your components, they're actually really solid. If you're rocking like really old hardware, like really old CPUs and stuff with them, they don't seem to perform that well. But if everything else is modern, but also just kind of like cheaper, they're a great bang for the buck. I think they did a good job at picking where they belong in the GPU market when they released the Battle Mage series. You've never had an AMD, but if you've heard mixed things. Honestly, it's hard because there's so much noise. Like there's all the like AMD fanboys, there's the Intel fanboys, there's all these like little things that have happened that affect a small portion of the population, but then it gets blown out of proportion, and maybe it even only affects certain CPUs, but then people will say that, oh well, they're all bad because it happened to like these CPUs. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make sense of all the noise. Intel's great though. Like personally, I like AMD better, but there's nothing wrong with going Intel, you guys. Could be like me and look like a skunk. Definitely. What do you think? AMD's not trying to compete with Nvidia 5090. I don't like it. I want AMD to come out with a high-end GPU. I had the 7900. I've had the 6900 XT. I've had the 7900 XTX, and I used those each for a couple of years, and I liked them. The 6900 XT, I had some problems like with a lot of like very volatile frames with some of the drivers, but my 7900 XTX was always really solid. Come on. I swear, some of these MSI clasps are like so finicky. But we got it, it's fine. AMD is killing it right now. You're not wrong, especially for gaming. Intel UHD 630, not a GPU, but surprisingly decent. Really? That's cool. Rocking is an overstatement. That's fair. Yeah, I agree. Utilizing 100%. And you are 100% utilizing every bit of that. The choice between the 9700X and the 7900X, since there's the same price, which one would pair? I mean, the 9700X is going to do better. It's got a slightly better single core performance. It's going to be a little bit more power efficient. But if you're doing a lot of things besides just gaming, like if all you're doing is gaming, 9700X all day. If you do more things besides gaming that require like pretty heavy CPU usage, that's when I would say maybe the 7900X makes sense. Never had an issue slotting their GPUs. I've had issues with the old CPUs coming out of their sockets. I've had that happen because I couldn't break the cooler loose, and so when I pulled it out, I just yanked out the CPU with it, which is always fun. We're live streaming right now, MJ. That's right. Oh, do I like streaming? Sorry, was that the actual question? Do I like streaming? I do like streaming. I really like building computers. Sometimes streaming while building is a pain, but it's also really fun because then I get to hang out with you guys while I sit here and build computers, you know? 64 gigs of RAM. Let's make sure those, on the last one, the RGB like diffuser thing here was like kind of loose on one of them, but these ones look okay. Oh yeah, like, so for streaming, recording, Blender, yeah, especially like for Blender, I think you'd be better off with the 7900X, even if it means you lose a little bit of gaming performance. Okay, 265K, 2 terabyte, 64 gigs of RAM. Let's get our CPU cooler brackets out here. Also, if I still sound a little funny, I am still getting over being sick. The thermal thing that comes with it is basically Gorilla Glue. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what the guy used on it, because I was like upgrading a guy's system on it, and I was like, that's cool. I was like, did you weld this thing on here? Because that's what it felt like. It felt like it had been welded on there. No, it's over here. AM4 socket was horrible. You're not wrong. Okay. There's all that. Ren's the Great coming in with a follow. Thank you. Appreciate that. For Blender, streaming, gaming, 9800X 3D or the 7900X. I would still say the 7900X just to have those extra cores, to be honest. I don't use Blender, so I don't know it super well, but it is a pretty heavy thing depending on what you're doing, so I would say get the cores. Okay, so we need that. We definitely need those later. We need those brackets. Don't need these. AM4 and DDR4 still hold. Like they're still solid today. I mean, you can still play games and everything with a AM4 system, no problem. What do you think about? Oh yeah, I already read that. Okay. Is it true that the less RAM sticks you use, the faster the PC? I would say yes, but only for 2. So you don't want to use 1 because then you're only operating in single channel mode. You want to use 2 because then you're able to utilize the dual channel mode with your CPU. If you use 4, it's less efficient. It's not like modern gaming CPUs do not have quad channel. So yes, you would want to use just 2 to get the most out of your system. Also, I mean, AM5 has gotten better, or sorry, not AM5, DDR5 has gotten better, but when DDR5 first came out, if you used 4 sticks, like there was a ton of problems. Like you couldn't get your RAM to run at its rated speed and timings. Sometimes it just wouldn't post. It was like really unstable. I think that's gotten a lot better now, but I still wouldn't use it. You like the cheese? Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. No, I don't think Intel has quad channel either. Yo, Riper with the $20 don't. That's 2 streams in a row, my man. What recommendations do you have for an AMD motherboard for a 5080 build mainly used for gaming? Honestly, the X870E version of this motherboard is really good. The X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi, super solid and like reasonably priced. It's like $330. If you want different brands, you could go with like the Asus ROG Strix. I think like the middle tier is like the Dash E, X870E Dash E gaming would be another solid one. I think that one's a little bit more expensive. How do I tell if my motherboard has TPM 2.0? I mean, you could just search your motherboard model name online and say, does this have TPM 2.0? And it'll tell you really quickly on Google. But you can also like look in your BIOS, and the BIOS will tell you if it has TPM 2.0. Hayes Carbon coming in with the follow. Thank you. You tweet out the stream? Hey, thank you, Finks. I appreciate you. Just bought a 5070 Ti. It's beautiful to game on. Yeah, 5070 Ti is really solid. I know this guy. You met me at Loot Fest? Let's go. Were you hanging out with Finks at Loot Fest? I remember meeting a couple of guys that were walking around with Finks. Okay, there we go. That's all in. Gigabyte Aorus. That's not bad. I just don't like Gigabyte motherboards, guys. I just don't. I've had problems with them in the past, and I can't get over it. It's probably something that I need to get over at this point, but I just can't. I just can't. All right, let's get all these panels off here. You have an AM4 and an AM2? Dang. AM2. It's wild. Yeah, you should have thought of that. Let me Google that for you. Sorry. Nice case. Yeah, this is a really nice case. The Thermaltake View 270 Plus ARGB. It's a mouthful, but it is a really nice case. It comes with some pre-installed fans, 3 pre-installed fans in. It's got a nice little spot here for the GPU power cable to come out of. It's got good airflow. It looks good, and it's reasonably priced. Like these are, I want to say it was $85 US. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, Gigabyte does make really nice white motherboards. Like they look really good. Okay, got that all nice and lined up. Oh, you're with Bobby, okay. God, I love Bobby, she's the sweetest. Yes, put all of the bolts together so that we have to sift through them. Okay, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, that's all we need. She really is amazing. I have a problem with my ROG Maximus Z890 Extreme when I restart. Keeps RAM training for a long time. Interesting. I was having some issues like that with my ROG Crosshair Extreme X870E, and I ended up having a bad capacitor on the board. So you might have some issues on your actual motherboard. Was it their motherboard? Wait, what? What are we talking about? I've had problems with all manufacturers, usually batch specific, not horrible manufacturing. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, this is why it's kind of funny. Most of my problems with Gigabyte have not been with quality. It has not been with like the quality of their parts or like premature failures. It's always been with their software. Like their RGB software, the Gigabyte Control Center, their RGB support back in the day. Like you couldn't use a bunch of different, there was a bunch of different RGB like fan brands and stuff that you couldn't use with them because they're like, oh, we made this RGB 2.0 port, and then it wasn't compatible with a bunch of stuff. That was mainly the reason why I hated using them on top of Gigabyte Control Center. And so I don't use them if I don't have to. Yeah, the X870 and X870E version of this board are really, really good. It is super fun building PCs, Trevor. I love it. What up, Mr. Rainbow? Your PC's AM3. Bro, you gotta update that bad boy. Asus, for example, never buy a board when it first comes out. Usually have issues, wait 3 to 6 months. Yeah, I bought their most expensive motherboard for my personal gaming PC. It's the X670E Crosshair Extreme. We had a couple of issues with it over time, but it was mostly that capacitor that went out, and since I got that fixed, it's been working pretty well since. I've had it for, shoot, 3 years now. Something like that. I built it like right when AM5 came out. Their RMA stuff was super easy to take care of. Okay, that's all done. Let's switch you guys over here. Yeah. I would definitely go down the path of like making sure your RAM is working, you know, check all, like, you know, try running it in the other slots, try running one at a time just to see if you have a bad RAM stick before you go through the trouble of dealing with a motherboard. Still got 6 hours to go. Didn't get a notification that my stream started, not sure why. That's so dumb. Do you have, and you have notifications turned on and everything? I will admit Gigabyte Control Center kind of sucks. It really does. It's terrible. Okay. Let's take a look at this stuff. HD audio. Going down, down to the bottom left. Right over there. Boom. USB 3. I think that's usually down here on these boards. Ish. No, it's not. It's up there. Okay. I was wrong. I'll admit it. It's up here. Here we go. And this USB-C was down here. Like this. I have the Gigabyte B650M gaming on your build. Nice. Don't feel bad. I go to work in 2 hours and want to play Path of Exile 2 right now. Still using the Asus Z770 with the i3000 series. Dang. FarmSim 25 is your go-to. It's how I shut my brain off after work. Love that. What up, Kyle? We have a PC build here with the i7, or sorry, Core Ultra 7 265K and a RTX 5070. If you want to see the full specs, you can try typing in ! specs. Otherwise, you can look at the description of the video. Speed, this is going to be a sick PC. You're not wrong. All right. We've got a lot of extra cable length over here. Like a lot. Look at this. Just look at this. Thermal take. What are we doing here? What are we doing, thermal take? Okay, there's all that. Don't worry, we're kind of undoing all these bundles and then we're gonna have to like re-clean them up afterwards. It's a process. I have to check out Manor Lords. Could also be Windows updates after every Windows update. Yeah, it could be. Although Windows usually isn't gonna affect your like RAM training time. Usually. What did he fix? I'm not fixing anything, I'm building. Did you pin the comment? Okay, cool. Do I need a PC doctor for your sick PC? No. I am the PC doctor. Obviously. Okay. Almost got this managed. And by managed, I mean completely unmanaged, so that we can start managing it. Alrighty, there we go. So, here's what's gonna happen. All right, where's our RGB ports? So we've got 2 down here, 1 over there, none at the top. So, I'm just kidding, we're just messing around. All right, let's get our fans connected in down here at the bottom. Do it right next to one of the RGB ports. And then we'll get all of our RGB fans in here. Oh, that was connected. Okay. I hate RGB headers. There we go, good. And then front panel connection. Let's run that over here. My wife just bought an ABS gaming PC from Newegg. I'm a little jealous and was thinking of building my own PC. Would you ever recommend Radeon CPU GPU combo around 2000 Canadian? Yeah, if you type in !Discord, shoot me a message in the Discord and I can put something together for you. Hopefully that works over there. Guru AF. Holy cow, I haven't seen that name in a hot minute. What's up, dude? Back to the good old days of Facebook gaming. How you been, dude? Lemon Yeti with the follow, thank you. Okay, we gotta deal with some of this chaos. Gotta deal with some of this chaos. Love seeing the builds. Thank you, Lemon. I think we'll end up zip tying this together over here, like that. Can't complain, just been working crazy busy. Yeah, I feel that. I've been good, man. Just got over, well, I'm getting over a cold right now, and then, but business has been pretty good the last month, and definitely busy. Still working full time and doing this. Okay, let's do that, and let's. Okay, well, we just unplugged that. You still working on the ship? Yo, what up, Charlie? Realizing now I still have your PSU cable. Oh yeah, I was gonna text you actually and be like, hey, can you bring me my PSU cable back? Yes, please order your new one so I can have mine back. Moving things right now, but I'm here to try and relax. Hopefully this is a relaxing stream. I think most people find it relaxing, if I'm honest. Work took my life over and I honestly forgot. Hey, that's okay. Have I done any back connect builds? I did one late last year / early this year. We did one and we actually brought it to Loot Fest this year. It was for one of my mods. They're really cool. I wish there was more. I feel like there's just not a lot of components being made for them. And not a lot of people have asked for them, to be honest. Which is kind of surprising because they're so cool. Okay, so that's kind of managed there now. Let's get some power cables in here. I have bought a couple of things off AliExpress, mostly the Ryzen 5 7500F, because it's not really available anywhere else, at least not in the US. Oh yeah, thanks. I literally saw that on your, like, you mentioned it just casually on your stream today. Hopefully you're doing okay. That, like, you were literally just in the hospital. Like you just kind of like nonchalantly threw that out there today. I was like, excuse me? Pain meds? Nice. Yeah, I think this I think it's relaxing, but you're talking with a guy that finds Lord of the Rings relaxing. Bro, Lord of the Rings is relaxing. What do you mean? Lord of the Rings is the best. Forgot one of the standoffs came loose under the motherboard and I had to take everything off. Oh God, that's a pain. AM4 CPUs came out a lot with the coolers. Oh, 100%. Okay. Did I just not, did I take off something random? I guess I did. Lord of the Rings online was really fun and relaxing. Oh, online. Talking about a game, Mr. Rainbow? Talking about the ultimate trilogy in the universe. Okay, CPU power. Got 2 CPU power spots. That's CPU power. We got a motherboard. We don't need anything else in this build. So it's all going back in here. Hey, the AI mod, wait. Oh, apparently you have to call me Red and not Redneck because the AI mod doesn't like my name for some reason. What fans is she using according to the website? So it comes with 3 pre-installed Thermaltake fans. I don't recall what model exactly they come with, but it's the, yeah, it's just the pre-installed ones. These are there's 3 120s in it. You need the hot sauce ranch. You apparently can't use, apparently can't type out redneck in the auto mod will get upset if you do. It's new to the new Kick Auto mod. I don't know why, but that's what it's doing. You can just call me Red, I guess. It's fine. Lord of the Rings online game was one of the best games after the Star Wars Galaxies. I don't know if I played the Lord of the Rings online game. I played like the 2 Towers, the Return of the King. I played the Third Age. I played Battle for Middle Earth. But I don't think I ever played the online game. I think Battle for Middle Earth is the one that was like, it's kind of like a Command and Conquer sort of game. I can't remember if that's what that one was, but I played that one. All right, CPU cables in there. You being sick definitely makes it harder to read names for you. It does. I'm struggling a little bit. I mean, I don't have like a vinyl printer thing to cut a sticker for that, but you can definitely stick that on the glass when you get it. You guys just got to figure out how to make it. Okay. CPU motherboard power is in there. We can get our GPU cable in here. And then we can start tying that stuff down. Okay, that's seated. So this is gonna sit this way. Yep, like that way. Okay, Let's get our CPU power cables in here. Sticks out way further than the other one. Okay. All right, so we got that. Since there's not a ton of space in here, I'm gonna route this GPU cable through to the front now. Just get it in the case. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's get our power supply bolted in. The hit maker, I think is what it says. It cuts off your name, but thank you for the follow. You're a plumber. I get a kick out of watching some guys on YouTube build a custom PC with custom copper water cooling. I've never built one with copper. I've done like hardline tubing, but it's always been like PETG or acrylic. I've been thinking of working my trade into the PC building world. That would be really cool. There's like one guy that I know that does a bunch of like crazy builds where he makes everything himself, like including like he custom makes like the reservoir and like CPU cooler blocks and all that sort of stuff. I can't remember his name right now, but his stuff is so fun to watch. Okay. Okay, got that through there. Okay. It's still weird to me on these motherboards that have the power, CPU power over on the other side than normal. Usually it's all the way over here. Okay. Here's that. Probably end up putting a zip tie there, but I want to get the CPU cooler in before I do that. All right, so there's how we're looking so far. Looking fairly clean. We'll get that kind of tightened down there too once we get a CPU cooler in. I mean, you won't even see that once the CPU cooler's in, but all right, CPU cooler time. Speed race, yeah, I have done a back connect build. We did one earlier this year. It was really cool. There just isn't there's not a lot of components out that are doing that, and there's not a lot of people asking for them. How many PCs did I build this year so far? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at I label every stream with the PC build number, so I'd have to go back and look at January. If I had to guess, it's probably in the like 70-ish range. If you move to the 5800X3D, you can put off going to AM5 for a while. Yes, that's true. Bought a 57 Ti in your 5800X. Yeah, it's a little tough finding a 5800 or 5700X3D because they've stopped making them. The 5800X3D, they definitely have. I heard rumors that they had stopped making the 5700X3D. I never really looked into it, just because I haven't been building AM4 systems. Yeah, Mr. BB, I am live. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of comments just because the chats are moving today, so I'm trying to keep up as much as I can. Who is the best RTX 3070 Ti or RTX 4060 in After Effects? I have no idea about in After Effects, but the 3070 Ti is better than the 4060 in pretty much every way. So I would say it's likely 3070 Ti. Okay, let's bring this down. Oh wait, before we do this, let's be smart here. I'm gonna open up our little baggie full of bolts. I don't want to do that while holding up a radiator. All right, so we gotta route all these little cables through the pass-through. So once we get this radiator up there, there's not really room to see behind it. Come on. Okay, got those two through. Get the next two through. Yo, thank you, Elevron. Yes, the 5800X3D will make a big difference over the 5800X. No question about it. Did you know the 4090 is better than the 5080? In some games, or in some games and some resolutions it is. But it's not too surprising because it's got way more VRAM and stuff. Unless you use DLSS 4 or whatever, DLSS 3. Court, thank you for all those likes. What is the best reliable AIO cooler under $60? Thermalright Aqua Elite V6. This one. This one's about 50 bucks US. And it's a 360 AIO. You can get the 240 for a little bit cheaper. You could even go with like the V4 if you want to save a little bit more money. But honestly, the Thermalright AIOs are the best. I would not. If you're going for a cheap AIO, I wouldn't go to any other brand. Demilight, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Try a 5700X3D then. For those prices, just go AM5. Yeah. That was gonna be my plan, 5700X or 800X 3D to upgrade your 3900X. Yeah, I would get one before they're gone, man. I think it's pretty much for the 5700X 3D, it's just whatever happens to be left on the shelves at this point, unless you buy one on like eBay or something. Thermalright Aqua Elite V6. Honestly, any of the Thermalright AIOs, but that's like, if you're trying to keep it under 60 bucks, that's the model range that you, or the model series that you want. Bro, you guys can't apparently say my name on Kick. It's so dumb. I see that, Demi. Hilarious. Do you ever see the PC case build with Legos? I don't think I've seen that one. At least not a specific one. I've probably seen like short videos of stuff like that, but I've never seen a full video like that. I don't know how you popped up on my feed. Well, I'm glad you're in here, because I did. We're just hanging out and building the computer. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let's get that out of there. Don't know what that is. Okay, so we got all of our fans here. Let's get those plugged in first. I think we want to run them right back out the same way they came in. There we go, got it. Come on. It's a little tight for my fingers. Hold on. If I get over and look at it from this side, I can see better. Nope. My left hand is not good enough. We need the dexterity of the right hand for this. I can see it. I feel like I'm right there. Got it. Nailed it. All right. So all of our CPU cooler fans are now plugged in. And then we need to do all of the RGB for those. And those are not going to reach down to the bottom, are they? Oh, wait. Do we have some slack still? Is that going to want to reach? Probably not. Okay. It will reach. I'm just a little worried about how tight this cable is. Have I ever told you guys how much I hate these 5-volt RGB headers? Have I ever told you, just like every single stream, how much I hate 5-volt RGB headers? Okay, that's plugged in. It's actually not terrible. It's a little tight, but it's not terrible. I think we're good there. Okay. The second option was going to be to find the open daisy chain spot on these other cables. Oh, it's actually right there. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't want that cable to be super stressed. And in the same way, me be stressed about the cable, you know? So, I can run that right there. Boom. See, look how easy that is. All right, now we gotta get our pump in there, which means thermal grease, which means I need a paper towel. You just bought the V4. The V4 is great too. The V6 is just like a new version of it, so. No, I don't think there's much difference, Bill. There's probably a slight difference in terms of like, they might have a slightly newer generation pump or something, and the looks are a little bit different, but I would not be surprised if most of the internals are exactly the same. Because they come out with like new versions like 3 times a year, it feels like. Hope you can play Battlefield smoothly despite the 5800X bottleneck. I think you probably can. Oh yeah, DLSS 4 is on 40 series. Do I know anything about the Gigabyte RTX 5080? It's on sale right now. Honestly, When it comes to brands for GPUs, the only brand I don't like to use too much, just because it's been the one that I've had the most like early deaths / dead on arrivals with, is Zotac. All the rest of them I've had really good experiences with. So I would not hesitate to buy the Gigabyte 5080. If like that's what, if that's what you're looking for. Trying to get this onto the bottom of the CPU. There we go. That's pretty good. Have 165 hertz G-Sync monitor. Anything below 120s are miserable. Yeah, that's fair. Especially if you play mouse and key. Are the Core Ultras like the new hotness from Intel? Yes. So this Core Ultra 7 265K is essentially the new 14700K. Warning, remove before installation. Despite my recent TikTok, you really should take these off. Am I excited for the new COD tomorrow? Like the open beta? I probably won't be playing the open beta. I probably won't get to play it until it's released, but I'm excited for new COD whenever the new ones come out. I've been playing COD since I was a kid. Since I was just a wee lad. All right, pump fan is right there. I think we've got enough room, or length, I should say. Run this guy up and out the back. Let's pull those down for a second. One downside of a slightly smaller case. Just doing this by feel now. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Got it. Okay. Pull that out to the back. And we're going to run it back out here. And down to that pump header spot. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. There we go. Got that. Plug that one in. That one's gonna be a lot easier to plug in because it's actually visible. Say that while struggling to plug it in. There we go. Okay. Pump is plugged in. And this guy needs to make his way to the back. Also, when I assemble this thing, should I be wearing gloves? The Lazy Susan is more just convenience because I build enough that it's really easy to just spin it around instead of picking it up. The gloves are nice to keep everything clean while you're building. It also kind of prevents, you know, static shock, but that's not really a big concern, if I'm honest. Like, I have it in my fingers, but I can't quite like pull it through that spot. Let's see if I can get it with this. Got it? Got it? Yes! We got it! Boom. Ta-da! Okay, and that needs to go into here. Like that. Path, yes, you also gotta enable beta thing. But my console gamer kid, a PC with a 4060, so we'll have to look into it. No one uses, yeah, I don't use G-Sync or FreeSync. Thanks, Andy. Palette is best GPU brand. I don't think you can even get that in the US. Why have I never heard of Palette? Oh, EVGA is my #1. Like, I love EVGA. I just wish they still made GPUs. If I was to upgrade to AM5 motherboard, which CPU would ensure my 5070 Ti will run efficiently at 1440p? Honestly, any of them. Minimum, I would get at least like a 9600X. 7800X 3D, 9800X 3D are really solid. A 9700X could also be really solid. But you can't really go wrong with any of those. I just wouldn't get, like, for that sort of system, I wouldn't get like a, you know, like a 7500F or like a 8000 series. I would make sure to get one of the better ones. Okay. I think we're a little bit bunched up at the bottom. I kind of want to do this along the side here, this way. Just because it's not a super deep case. Normally I would run this stuff just down along with all the power cables, but because of the amount of space that we have, I'm gonna run these over horizontally here. No, I didn't get all the cables in there. Whoops. better. I want to build a $6,000 PC. Do you think it's worth it with the current market prices? I mean, prices have come down a good bit for GPUs at least. So, I mean, now is not a bad time to do it. I don't think, you know, looking at inflation and trends, like I don't think stuff's gonna just magically get cheaper anytime soon. So if you're ready to build, I would say now is not a bad time to build. Especially now that like the craze of the 50 series shortage and stuff is over, and so you can actually find those components at like MSRP again. This guy tried to charge me $130 to disassemble your GPU so you could spray paint it? Who did that? What up, Kane? You're saying I did that? I definitely have never offered anyone to spray paint their GPU, so I don't know who you're talking about, but it ain't me. Okay, I was like, I feel like I would remember a conversation like that. That is pretty wild. I mean, it is a lot of work, but like also, if he disassembles your GPU, like if it's still under warranty, it's not anymore. So you gotta be really careful when you do stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I would just go to like V1 Tech or something and order like a kit from them. They make really cool like RGB kits and stuff that you can stick on top of the GPU. Granted, it's not like, you know, it doesn't do everything, it just does the top of the GPU, but it still looks really good. There we go. That's looking pretty good, huh, chat? Huh, chat? What do you think of that so far? Doesn't matter, because that's what we're doing. All right, let's get that GPU installed. All right, so second slot. These have the breakaway pieces. Should just need two. Ooh, that's a heavy GPU. The new cooler I got is so thick, it's got no less than no room up there. What did you get, Dr. Beamer? Another day, another build, that's right. Purdue, you're up next, dude. We'll be ready to build yours probably Wednesday. We'll make an executive decision and we're gonna say Wednesday. Qflix will be excited? Heck yeah. Redneck Engineer made my PC several months ago and it has been awesome, super reliable. It's got a 7950X and 5070 Ti. Yes, sir. How we doing, Rusty? Their stuff is typically more like a thinnish acrylic piece that you can then like stick onto the top, like the heat spreader up here of your motherboard or of your GPU. And then like a lot of times they're like RGB and stuff too. And they have like hundreds of designs. And I think you can even do a custom design, like you can give them an image and be like, put this on a back plate. Back plate, that's the word I wanted. Not heat spreader. I mean, it is kind of a heat spreader, but it's called a back plate. Plastic, 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 yeah. Those of you who don't know, that's to the tune of Dora the Explorer's backpack, backpack. Because I'm a man of culture. Okay, there's all that. Dude, this thing is like barely gonna fit in this case. This thing is huge. Look at that. Okay, it definitely like doesn't just barely fit, but that thing is honkin' big. Ugh! Thumb screw my ass. It's way too tight. And then I need this little baggie that came with the case again, because I need 2 bolts. Same bolts used for the power supply. Just like that. Also look into the Newegg Shuffle. Sometimes, yeah, you can get decent stuff there. Yeah, Newegg Shuffle has gone from being like a lottery to buy GPUs when you couldn't get them to being like a discount lottery now. That new Lian Li 8.8 inch LCD screen, I have not actually seen that yet. I've done a couple of builds with 8.8 inch screens just like off Amazon, and they were really nice. And probably 10 times cheaper than Lian Li's, but Lian Li's probably works with their software, so it is nice. Yeah, I think they're all wired. I mean, they have to be wired to some extent, like at least for power. But usually they're probably wired for data as well. But it would be nice if it was at least wired to go to an internal header instead of like an external USB header. No muss, no fuss. GPU's in. This one's actually really nice. It comes with 2 HDMI ports and 3 display ports. It's crazy. ASUS doing a little extra for us. Going above and beyond for us. Okay. GPU power. Let's do this. And Fink, since you're in here, I'm gonna have to take it out before I ship it, but this is a GPU support. Your GPU is kind of heavy. I would stick it like right here under the front and just make sure it lifts up the corner a little bit. So it's gonna be a little saggy like right out of the gate. And what you're gonna do, you're just gonna stick this under this corner, lift it up until the GPU looks like it's nice and flat. And then you tighten this little nut down, and now your GPU won't sag anymore. Cool? Cool. You can call me if you have questions about it. Oh, the Arctic. Yeah, the Arctics are always, they're all thick boys. All the Arctic AIOs are huge. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. That looks great. Honestly, B+. The joy of it is nobody will ever see it again, hopefully. All right, what do we think, you guys? What do we think? Oh, camera's freaking out. I'm not in the circle of it. Just, there you go. Stop freaking out. That's a build PC, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think? How do we feel about it? What are our emotions right now? Before I turn it on, obviously, and then we'll get new emotions probably. Doing some coding, editing, and also gaming. Maybe I shouldn't go for a 5090 and choose 5080 instead. Yeah, you probably don't need a 5090 for that. It is a nice little case. Pretty cool stream bro. What's the camera setup? So I've got a Sony ZV-E10 up there. That one can do 4K. I shoot in 1080, and then I've got two Sony A6000s. One in the overhead and then one behind me, and then I've got a Blackmagic Decklink Quad HDMI for encoding all of it. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on some comments here. You heard your name. Oh, yeah, I was talking about this. So this is your little GPU support. This is going to keep the GPU from sagging. So I'll keep it at this height. So when you get it, all you need to do is stick it under the front corner here, not under one of the fans, and that'll keep your GPU from sagging at all. I can't ship it with it in there because the expandable foam is just gonna wrap around it and it's gonna yank it out when you pull the foam out. But it's preset to the right height, so you just gotta put it on there. Path to Main, I am on Twitch actually. Just came over from YouTube. There's like a 20-minute delay over there. Are you sure? It might have just been you, because I feel like people... Is there a huge delay for you guys too? For everyone on YouTube? I don't have like a built-in delay, so I don't know what's going on. Pretty cool stream. Looks pretty darn clean, to be honest. Industrial vibes. Thank you. Die Fat Game. What's up? Building PC for work, editing videos, or doing streaming online, like live stream. Maybe it's worth it, but just for gaming, no way. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need to put this back in the case. So this little guy, you're gonna need to stick it back in here because I can't ship it with it in there. But that's gonna keep your GPU so that I see how I can't really push down on it. It'll keep your GPU from sagging down over time. Is the delay over there really that bad? That's crazy. I've never had that problem before. I definitely don't have a delay turned on. Delay looks the same on both platforms on your end, Yun? Okay. Maybe it's something with like the app. I'm not sure. Got struck with painsies? I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Not now, but it was. That's weird. Well, good news is we're going to be rebuilding my stream PC here real soon, so shouldn't have any problems. All right. Are you guys ready to see this thing fired up for the first time? For the first time ever? Let me see your favorite emojis in the chat if you're ready to see this beast of a PC powered on for the first time. I want to see it right now. Favorite emoji in the chat right now. We are not turning it on until you do. I'm gonna dim the lights. We're gonna get ready. But I'm not turning it on until you guys put your favorite emojis in the chat. I'm just not gonna do it, okay? We're just not gonna do it. We won't be bullied. I can bully you guys, but not the other way around. You have no hold over me. Random, love it. Yun, I love it. Mr. Rainbow, got the rainbows and the coffee. Love that. Oh, these are all great. Is that money flying away? It's pretty appropriate emoji for this. Not gonna lie. In the midst of purchasing my parts, going with the Montec XR. It's a great case. It's basically the same thing as this. The Montec XR and the Thermaltake View 270 are basically identical. So you will not be upset. This is what your PC could look like. Fancy meeting you here. It limited your emojis? Come on, Kick. All right. So, as a reminder, here's what we got. We've got the Core Ultra 7 265K. We've got 64 gigabytes of RAM. We've got the RTX 5070. This is the Asus TUF model. 850 watt power supply. MSI Mag Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard. Thermaltake View 270 Plus ARGB. I know it's a mouthful. And the Thermalright Aqua Elite V6 360. Also ARGB. I think we're ready. First ever power on. Boom. There it is. There it is. Keep playing in the background when I go to work then? Thank you. What up, Faros? Holy peak. Isn't that nice? Isn't that so nice? Very nice. Wow. Don't worry. It's memory training. It's supposed to happen. Looks awesome. Thank you, Riper. Dude, again, thank you so much for the dono earlier. You're putting Mr. Rainbow to shame right now. I might just be trying to bully him into giving more memberships. Go with the air cooler Arctic freezer. Oh, okay. I can get down with that. Believe it or not, I am not opposed to air cooling. I just think liquid cooling looks better. And it tends to be a little bit quieter. But I've had an air cooler in my stream PC for 2.5 years now, 3 years now. Not opposed. Looks really good, just the right amount of RGB. I agree. And once we like set the RGB, I think it'll look even better. Yeah, we could have done RGB fans underneath too. That'd be just too much. It's just too much. Finks likes it. Yeah. RAM speed, this is CL28 6000. Patriot came out, I think they would call it like ultra low latency RAM. Ah! Mr. Rainbow just dropped 20 gifted memberships. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can never have too much RGB. It's debatable. Yeah, she's gonna love it. She's gonna love it. PC looks good. Thank you, Comic-Con1. Sorry, my brain isn't working. Yeah, it's pretty wild, Peak. CL28 6000. I think this is like they call it their ultra low latency RAM, and they're the first ones that I've seen that have it readily available. Like I remember a couple of other companies talking about it, but these are the first ones that I've seen that are just like out and available for like regular price and not something insane. No, you're good. I mean, there's no way for you to know, Elevron. I feel like it's perfect. Any more RGB would be too much. Yeah. Also, I love this design that they did Honestly, it kind of looks like a wheel. Like, kind of looks like the rim on a car. Looks pretty cool. Got like the little bead locks and everything. Not gonna be outdone. Dude, thank you so much, Mr. Rainbow. I was totally joking. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Yeah, the card looks good. Asus Tough, man. Asus Tough make great looking cards. Yes, thank you for all the gifteds. Appreciate it. DDR5 RAM, yours is so unstable. Had to RMA the motherboard. Really? Yeah, I had a bunch of problems with mine. I had to get it repaired. Ended up being a capacitor that had failed on the motherboard. It was just like slowly but surely just getting worse and worse. Oh, you have the 5070 Ti version? This is the 5070, like the non-Ti version, but it looks basically the same as the Ti one would be. Thank you, Phoenix. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're able to come and watch. I know most people like really enjoy getting to watch their PC being built live, so I'm glad you were able to make it. Everyone messes up your name all the time. It's fair. Oh, the comical one. I got it. I got it. I had to read it back. Sapphire Nitro. Sapphire's nice. I like their stuff. Is it ugly? Honestly, depending on when you got it, sometimes it was like, hey, there's a GPU available that I want at a reasonable price. Done. Do it for the love of the channel and the people. What up, Dan Pool? How we doing, dude? Just throwing out government names over here. Sheesh. I'm just kidding, I don't care. My middle kid was impressed you built it in 1.5 hours. Did it take that long? Yeah. Honestly, I could build this off stream in less than an hour. If I didn't have to, like, if I wasn't stopping and chatting with you guys, like, pretty often, even like a build like this, which is somewhat complicated, easily under an hour. Uh-oh, is it a giving war? Riper with another $20. Thank you. Happy to be here. I was moving some things, just watching in between. Love it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to Mr. Rainbow. What's gonna happen? We don't know. Dan Pool also dropping a $10 dono. He says, thanks again for my PC, dude. It's running beautifully. Did you ever get the okay to reveal the NFL QB? Yes. I actually I recorded the video for it, and I need to release it. I did release it on Twitter, just like a picture announcing it, but I have a video that I need to edit and post. It was for Trey Lance, quarterback for the Rams. Chargers. Mr. Rainbow! Oh my gosh. Mr. Rainbow just dropped another 50 gifted memberships. I don't know what to say, other than thank you. You guys are going nuts. Absolutely nuts. I do like how the power cable is hidden on it. I love that. I love how the power cable just like disappears. If you have like a really tiny GPU, it won't look as cool because it kind of has to like cross super far, but this nice little distance is real good. Dude, the received a gifted membership is still just chugging through on YouTube right now. Andy Kane got one, Path the Main got one, Mean Dean, MJ, Born Joker, Simba, Of the Stars, Husk, Miguel, Padre, Dr. Cyber, PNHX, Tiago, but not you. Clearly, Riper wants you to buy your own. Thank you, Finks. What's the build we're working on? So this is for one of our new partnered content creators. She's up in Canada. This has an Core Ultra 7 265K. Got a 5070, 64 gigs of RAM, 4 terabytes of storage. Got the MSI Mag Z890 motherboard, 850 watt power supply, and then the Thermalright AIO. This is going to be a gaming and streaming system, which is why we needed a CPU with a lot of cores and lots of RAM to make sure that it can run everything flawlessly. Yeah, you literally cannot write my name, Dr. Beamer. The new AI mod will cut it out. Yeah, I'm talking to somebody on the one of the YouTube chats. Thinks. I think mine just had the bad quality VRMs or something. It's a pretty good budget board. Thankfully, the new one can handle 6030. Love it. Yeah, mine. I spent $1,100 on the motherboard of my gaming PC. Yeah. I wanted to make the best, most top-of-the-line AM5 gaming PC when AM5 first came out. So I did all hardline water cooling. I did like a giant distro plate from EK Water Blocks. It's got dual radiators. It's got all Noctua fans. It's got custom cable mod cables. It's got an $1,100 motherboard. It's got it had the Western Digital Black SSDs, which were like the best at the time. It had a 7900 XTX in it. I've replaced that. It had a 7950X in it for the CPU before. I also replaced that since then. How did you get a member? Because Mr. Rainbow over on the horizontal stream dropped 50 gifted memberships. 50. Yep. Yep. Yeah, my gaming PC, when I built it, everything was kind of expensive at the time. But I spent over $6,000 in parts. About 2,200-ish of that was water cooling parts. So like tubes, fittings, radiators, the distro plate, water blocks, all that sort of stuff. Was not a good investment, to be fair. It still works. It runs great. I've had it for like 3 years now. Never had problems besides when the motherboard failed and I had to send it in. GPU stays at like 44 degrees Celsius when I'm like in heavy gaming. But it was over $6,000. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, motherboard is super important. Everything runs through the motherboard. A lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people will like get gypped by these cheap pre-built PC companies that use crappy motherboards and crappy power supplies because they just don't know any better. They don't know what to look for, and it frustrates the crap out of me. Yes, thank you to Mr. Rainbow. Yeah, I don't know that you can choose who gets subs or memberships on YouTube at all. You are one of the first members. I think there's like 1 or 2 other people who might have like jumped on it before you did, but like you were one of the first when I got memberships available. You became a member. You have like, I think I saw it was like 17 months or something like that of membership on YouTube. It's crazy. Oh, Finks came over to the YouTube chat. 2020, 2021 was rough years for parts pricing. That was how I was able to get my business off the ground. I was able to get GPUs at like regular retail prices during the shortage, and so I could build people PCs for like the price it would cost them to buy a scalp GPU, and that's how I was able to get off the ground. Yeah, on YouTube you can't choose. Do I have any viewers from the Netherlands? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe on Wednesday? Heck yeah. I hate when they only use one large RAM stick versus 2 smaller ones. Yeah, I don't know, like, what's the point? Why would you use one RAM stick? And they're always like super high latency. It's crazy. It's crazy. Almost 2 years. I say you build a 2005 PC build just for the fun of it. You can find the if you can find the materials. That would be interesting. No, I don't take the GPU out to ship. I use a bag of expandable foam. So you basically you pop one little bubble and then you like mix it around and then you stick it in under the GPU and then you lay the bag over the top and then it fills the entire space so the GPU doesn't have any room to rattle around, and it works really well. Elevron, welcome. Tier 1 member, thank you. They better not F around at the border in customs so she get left outside before I leave. I'll throw hands. It's probably, yeah. It should be pretty quick, especially since you paid me for the taxes and stuff. It should go faster because then they don't have to like hold it and reach out to you to pay the import taxes because it'll be paid in advance. So it should go smoothly. Can't be left out. Love it. I like to use a Windows 98 wallpaper for a lock screen to confuse older people. Do you also like change the theme in your PC so that it looks like it's it looks like you're actually in Windows 98? Because that would be top tier trolling. Yeah, Instapack. That's what I use in every system. So the way that I package, I use Instapack inside, close it up, put it back into the original case that the PC, put it back in the original box that the case comes in. Sometimes slide a little bit of like air pillows inside, like between these faces and the box. And then that box goes in a bigger box sitting on a bed of open cell foam and then surrounded by half-inch tall industrial bubble wrap to fill out the rest of the outer box, and then more of that bubble wrap on top. So double boxed, foam inside. Since I started doing that, I haven't had any problems in shipping. The XP theme. Yes. Do it, Brett. Do it. Do it. Where did I put that file in floppy? I build PCs for people just as a hobby. I want to stream/create videos. How do you get over the awkward feeling of talking to a camera? Well, here's the thing. I started streaming video games back in 2020. I kind of got over the awkwardness then, especially because back then, like, I wasn't streaming to very many people. So a lot of times I was trying to talk to myself to keep like conversation going. That way when people showed up, they aren't just like, wow, this guy's just sitting there gaming and not talking. So yeah, I don't know is probably the best answer. I think you just kind of get used to it. Like you just got to start doing it, and like over time, like you'll see, especially early on, like you'll get some of the same names and faces coming in, and it gets a lot easier when you see the same people because you can like continue conversations from previously and talk to them about like what's going on. That makes it a lot easier, you know. What CPU is it? It's the Core Ultra 7 265K. Trying to do a 2015-ish computer just to give it away to a coworker. Nice. Excuse me. Animal Crossing. Then I'll be the first to watch from the Netherlands. Thank you. I've never been to the Netherlands. I've been to Sweden, which is close-ish. I've never been to the Netherlands. Stream like you're talking to a friend. Exactly. That might not help much, but forget the camera is there. That's true. You could just be like, yeah, just sit there and talk as if you're talking to somebody. I thought about just putting one of my kids behind the camera and just having a conversation with them. There you go. How is the PC being shipped? UPS, most likely. That's who I ship for anything within the US. I'm just gonna check rates on my ShipStation app to see what the best one is. Put a pic of red on your camera. Yeah, just put a picture of me on the camera. You can pretend you're me. But it'll be essentially UPS ground. Whatever the like international equivalent of that is. Only have 3 fans in your PC and you're happy about it. How dare you? It's not enough. Need more. More fans. Probably has an 08 computer. I mostly just play Warzone today, Woobly. I've gotten into like a couple other games over the last few years, but that's kind of been my go-to. I played Call of Duty since like the second one that came out. I am very competitive in all aspects of life. So yeah, I don't know how to play casually when I play games. I am all in all the time. To a fault, probably. Canada Post is on strike. Interesting. You always wanted RGB RAM and you made my dreams come true? Yeah. It's so pretty. Rather go with a Bane mask? There you go. You can go like create a character. It's fun in some cities in the Netherlands. I really enjoyed my time in Sweden. I can't imagine that the Netherlands is completely different. It's beautiful out there. I love the history. I would probably enjoy it. Unfortunately, the only reason I went to Sweden was for work, and Volvo doesn't exist in the Netherlands. Like their base of operations isn't there, so I don't know when I would ever visit. What up, Dr. Cyber? How we doing? Look at that fancy new membership badge. 2 intake fans, 2 exhaust, 1 on the CPU, and of course the GPU has 2 fans. It's respectable. It's respectable. My stream PC has 3 fans up front, 1 in the rear, 2 along the top, and then 2 on the CPU cooler because it's an air cooler, and then 2 on the GPU itself. Ever been to Ireland? I have not. Okay, here's the international trips I've been on. Mexico. We went there for a friend's wedding. Colombia. We went there for my sister-in-law's like 40th birthday trip. We did a huge like 4-day long trek through the mountains and stuff. Really cool. I've been to Turkey twice for work, and I've been to Sweden once for work. And that's all the international traveling I've done. When I went on those like international trips for work, I did like go do fun stuff. Like I didn't just work 24/7 the whole time I was there. But they were primarily work trips, not fun vacation times. 2 front end, 1 top out, rear out, anywho. I wouldn't mind going to Ireland. I definitely want to go to Scotland to try Scotch at the like distilleries. Only been to Canada internationally because BC and Calgary. Nice. I've never been to Canada, which is kind of dumb because it's obviously the closest. The more fans, the better, pretty much, yeah. Play CS like a madman. I've played CS a couple of times, or CSGO, the newer one. Not CS2, but CSGO. And I had fun playing it, but I never got super into it. I love the thrill of a battle royale. You're from Netherlands because I never grew up. Wow. Probably the youngest 60-year-old on this channel. You might be the only 60-year-old in the channel, too. Keyboard went brrr. All right, y'all. I think it's time. I need to start getting software and stuff on this system so that we can get it shipped out to Finks ASAP, because I know that she has a trip coming up in a couple of weeks and we want to make sure that it gets there before that. So, first, if you haven't yet and you're interested in a PC, go to redneckengineer.com. You can use code FINKS. You've seen her in the chats. Use code FINKS You'll save 5% off and you'll help her out a little bit. If you're buying Corsair products at Corsair.com, you can use code REDNECK to save 10% off. And if you want to get Signal RGB Pro, which unlocks a ton of features, it's the best third-party RGB control software there is. There is a link in the YouTube description to get that at a discount and support me at the same time. Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for being here. Thank you guys for all the chats. Thank you all for the donations. You guys went absolutely nuts tonight. I don't even know how much money that was. It felt like a lot. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. We'll be back on Wednesday to build a PC for J. Purdue's son. And that's going to be another banger. So we'll see you guys on the next stream. Thank you for watching. We will see you. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. What? How is that hate, Finks? Code Finks, PHINXX. I don't know why that says hate. The AI mod is dumb. Yep, it's just dumb. Okay, bye. Goodbye, everybody.